Can you guys hear me now? How about now? Someone said my mic isn't on. Okay. Hey, y'all. You guys, this is a very delicious. I don't know if you guys drink like organic juices, but this is an organic juice that I made at home. And it is apple with lemons, with celery, with cucumber. And if you guys want to clean out your system, this is a very, 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 very delicious drink. Thank you so much. Hey, Olivia. I'm pretty sure you're also beautiful, happy soul. I just did like a facial and I'm trying to get you guys, how are you guys feeling last week? I feel last week I want to do like a mental health check-in. Like how are you guys feeling? Were you feeling good? Were you feeling tired? I want to talk about how. Oh, damn. So you guys didn't hear anything that I said in the beginning. I was just saying that I appreciate you guys for showing up. Thank you so much for being such a beautiful light and being so understanding. I'm sure your friends and family around you appreciate what type of person you are. They probably don't tell you all the time, but you probably have a very healing and loving energy that they appreciate. I really wanted to talk about the symptoms that we're having. And if you're experiencing a lot of symptoms, it's probably because we are like an aircraft or a rocket ship. Okay, you're saying that you're tired. Yeah, I've been feeling really tired. I slept all day, but I also worked like literally all day one day. So, um, I am going to mention some of the symptoms that people have been feeling, but I do want to say that thank you for being here. Thank you for being alive. Thank you for being on the journey. Thank you for being so great and sensible. I'm getting that some of you guys have really tried to present yourselves to be a different person this time around to some people. And I just want to say thank you for trying. Thank you for caring about the world. Thank you for trying to make the world a better place. If even if you're not doing anything to make the world a better place, um even if you're not doing something to make the world a better place right now, you not doing anything isn't causing any harm either. You're not putting out any negative energies. So if you guys want to focus more on your mental health and you want to focus on how to keep your mindset more positive, please stick around for this video. Let's see. Happy Soul says, can you tell me a quote for girls that are insecure about their bodies because I have a problem? Well, Happy Soul, I will say the more you love your body, the more you love yourself, because one day, you should listen to this song from Lana Del Rey. It's called Young and Beautiful. And she's singing this song. She's like, will you still love me when I'm no longer young and beautiful? And it's kind of like, it's a whole song. Like, if you love yourself and the person that you love, they're going to love you just for you. And we have these trends going on with Kim Kardashian and everybody wanting to be skinny, but it doesn't matter how fast you lose the weight. If you're not confident about yourself and you don't love yourself, then you are going to end up in the same predicament, probably still overweight or still less confident. So my quote to you is Lana Del Rey: ask yourself and ask the people around you, will they still love you when you're no longer young and beautiful? Because I think it's very important to love yourself and give back to yourself when it's needed and not wait for other people to do it. You know what? I was bullied for my body too. And I started drinking these green juices. I used to weigh like I used to weigh like 200 and like almost 80 pounds. And people are like, "Oh my God, I can't believe that." But I lost a lot of weight because I just wasn't sad anymore. I didn't care what anybody had to say. I didn't care. No one was paying my bills. If no one pays your bills and no one gets you out of bed physically and makes you get dressed and makes you get in the shower, if you have to do everything yourself, who cares what everybody else has to say? Like, I think the most important thing you can do for your mental health is to stay around positive people. The more you stay around optimistic people and the more you stay around like people that actually care about your mental health. Like I had to stop being friends with someone because she just was not taking care of her mental health. And I was like, I love you, you're my best friend, but I have to let this connection go because the more she was not taking care of her mental health. It felt like I was always trying to be there for her all the time to help her with her mental health. And I don't want you guys to feel like that. So, the people who are coming in, I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for making the world a better place. Thank you for being confident enough to show up and get out of bed every day. Thank you for having such a big heart for people and animals and just the world itself. Thank you for not littering. Thank you for, being kind to old people. I just want to say that it's really hard. It's harder to be a kinder and a nicer person than it is to be a bad person. Okay. Well, it says comment restricted for some reason. I have a mediator in here, you guys. So I appreciate you. But I want to get down to some of these symptoms. We had a new moon last week, and I'm going to go down the symptoms, and you guys tell me if you experienced any of these symptoms. Okay. Nausea, irritability, tiredness. I don't know. Tiredness, fatigue, insomnia, lack of appetite, cravings, boredom, lack of intimacy, sensitivity to sound and light, sensitivity to certain foods that you eat. You guys might not have been wanting to hear. Maybe some people are talking too loud, or maybe you just want quiet, or maybe you just need very calm tones. Um, let's see, having headaches, migraines, brain fog. If you've had any gas or bloating, super gassy, super bloating. Like, I feel like I've been bloating a lot. It doesn't matter what I eat. So I needed to just eat vegetables and fruits all day. Dryness. So if you're always thirsty, if you've been like dry and you've been having like your allergies kind of like messing up too. Even when you drink water, you're just like, oh my God, like I'm just like so thirsty. Um, Having an upset stomach, pain behind the eyes, um sense of not belonging, and feeling vulnerable and exposed. So if you guys have felt any of those symptoms, have a seat. I'm getting ready to tell you what we're about to go through. This next shift that we're about to enter is going to be very difficult. A lot of you have been experiencing these symptoms because your body and your paranervous system is trying to prepare you for what's about to happen. So if you have any like irritability, or you're just like, oh my God, I'm just tired, just listen to your body. Because if you don't listen, these transitions are going to be a lot harder when you actually need to start like putting things into motion. So what that looks like is this next month, we have a whole bunch of planets that are going direct. We have planets that are going retrograde. Neptune's going retrograde. Um, Venus is going, or Gemini is going into Venus. There's a lot of things that are happening. And I just want to let you guys know that if you don't listen to your body now, there's going to be certain acts that are happening in the future. There's going to be exes that are coming back. There's going to be random arguments. There's going to be your family trying to argue with you. There's going to be past people and past friendships that are trying to get your attention. Everyone is going to be, it's going to be like, you guys, have you ever seen, not saying I live with roaches, but I have before. Have you ever seen like, or been over somebody's house and they have roaches, and you go into their cabinet or you go into like their microwave, and then all the roaches start scattering? Oh my God. That's exactly what I'm getting. And I have my red candle here that I'm burning today. Nice little red candle. Um, but if you don't start paying attention to your body and you don't start understanding what your body's trying to tell you, is your body trying to tell you that you feel unsafe? Is your body trying to tell you that you need to rest? Is your body telling you that it needs more nutrients? And if you're not giving yourself these things, you have to understand that you are going to struggle in this next phase of life. If the world is supposed to be about raising the frequency in your body, and your spirit needs to be raised to a certain frequency, and you're not doing the things that your body's telling you, you're going to be in a place where you're going to be experiencing like money loss. You're going to be experiencing like lack of friendships. You're going to be feeling more loss. You're going to be feeling more lost, not more loss, but you're going to be feeling lost. You're going to be feeling like you don't have the endurance and the energy and the power. And it's going to be too late if you don't do it right now, because going into this next harvest season, which is going to be in October, you're supposed to be preparing everything now so you can have a harvest in October. It's just like farming. You have to do the same thing throughout the year. We get paid our taxes at a certain time throughout the year. We have all of the summer and all of the spring to prepare and the fall to prepare. And we also have the winter where everything is dead silent. So if we are supposed to be maneuvering like animals, we have to really put ourselves in a position to set ourselves up for greatness and not for failure. The government has been telling us that the food has been going bad. The government has been telling us that we're going to have a food shortage. The government has been telling us that prices are going to go up. Gas is going to be more expensive. Things are going to be our regular essentials that we like. We're not going to be able to be doing like our hair and makeup all the time. We're not going to be able to be eating processed foods all the time. A lot of the foods and vegetables that they're giving us are already bad. So if you're not eating organic, that's a problem, because then all these pesticides are in your body. And what people don't tell you about having metals and pesticides and parasites in your body is when you have these things in your body and you don't do detoxes and you don't do flushes and you don't eat foods that are good for you, it gets backed up and then it starts taking over. It's like you have too many things in your body to regulate. So it's like your spleen and your liver and everything is trying to filtrate everything and detox everything. But the fact that you keep doing it every day, it doesn't have time to actually replenish itself. And it's working literally like on a fourth like tank of gas. I hope this makes sense to you. My messages are for the collective who's at this space where we're all transitioning together. Happy Soul, you had a question. I'm getting ready to pull some cards and do a little prayer. What's your question if you're still in the house? I can't ignore you. Also, this is a read. This is a collective reading that's going to be going on my page. So I would love to come on here and ask you guys questions. If you have questions, then you can also message me on my Instagram. I usually leave my Instagram under the comments when I'm done posting, and you can ask for extra reading over there, or you can ask questions over there. These readings are to get the messages out, and I have to do them live because my phone is full, and every time it uploads, it takes forever. So I just been uploading them straight on YouTube. So we're there. Happy girl, I didn't see your question, so I'm going to keep moving forward. Okay, let's get into our prayer. Let's do some deep breaths. And exhale. We're going to do 2 more. And exhale. And 1 more inhale. And exhale. Heavenly Father, ancestors, spirit guides, protective angels, higher self, lower self, and Mother God, thank you so much for being here and connecting me with the collective. Thank you for your abundance, substance, and prosperity on an everyday basis. I appreciate the substance and abundance that you give us. And I also am going to be doing a reading on this next transition that we're going to be experiencing this summer. At the end of this month, we'll be in a completely different timeline. And please use me as a vessel to relay messages to the collective that is needed. I appreciate you. I love you. I respect you. And if you're not called on this reading, you are not welcome. Amen. Happy Soul, I cannot answer your question right now. It seems like that's a personal question, and this is a collective read. So message me personally. I won't charge you for asking the question, but I do charge for readings and deeper explanations. So I did have the 5 of Cups come out. I had the Knight of Wands come out. I've also had the World card come out, and I have the Five of Swords come out. So this message is already letting me know it's about stability. How stable are you as a person? If your lights were to shut off tomorrow, what type of sustainability would you have? What do you have to offer in times of crisis? What do you have to offer in times of emergency? How useful are you, knowing that we're going to be pretty much, America's a third world country, but we're getting ready to be in a different reality where we're going to be it's like the Hunger Games. We're going to be experiencing people having lots of money, lots of jewels, lots of entertainment on one side of the world, and everybody else on this side of the world seems like we're having to work 9 to 5. We're having to just be very frugalist. Is that what the word frivolous? No, I think it's frivolous, but you have to eat different type of food. So you have to like eat rice and beans and chicken while other people are eating like steak and lobster and shrimp. So that dynamic and that polarity of wealth and pretty much, unwealthy is going to be very, very, very important. I am getting that some of you are still heartbroken over a specific situation or a certain person. I'm not gonna lie. I like this guy told me, I went on a date and he was just like, oh my God, like, it's probably because like you're fearful. Like a lot of people do things out of fear. And I'm like, I almost died before. I'm not fearful. Okay. I'm not fearful. I feel like a lot of people do things out of fear because they have not experienced the opposite of what that fear. It's like, if you're going to be fear, like what's the opposite of fear, right? Strength, confidence, all those good things. But because you've never experienced what's on the other side of fear, you're always going to be scared. Every time you have a chance to face fear, face it. And I promise you, the fears get smaller and smaller and smaller. And so, where you're looking at fear like this, and it's like, oh my God, this is my first time doing it. The more you experience fear, you start to realize that fear is just an illusion. And you look from your perspective of looking at like this colossal problem that you have, and you start to downsize it and you start to look, and it's just like fear is literally nothing that can hurt me. It's literally my own mind telling me that I'm not capable of something, that I'm not able of something, that the people around me, so it's a lot of negative self-doubt is where fear comes from. So I didn't really like that he was trying to distill fear inside of me, when it's kind of like, I was like, the only thing that I'm probably afraid of is like not fixing things with my mom, but the universe is going to work that out because I can call her right now if I wanted to. I'm just immature, and I don't, because I'm not as mature as I need to be right now. But yeah, going back to this Five of Cups, your tears have been heard. I'm getting that you see this pond right here? It's almost like this person has cried so much that they filled a whole river up. And I don't know if you guys can see it. It's kind of like sparkling too. So that's what made me feel like it was filled with tears. But sometimes you're just going to have to, I'm like, sorry, I'm having like, I don't know. I do feel a little bit fatigued today. I could just kind of feel like in a daze. So that's also one of the symptoms that you guys can be having. Like you might feel like you're in a daze. I feel very kind of like lightheaded. I need to go outside and ground. It's hella hot in California right now. It's like, when I looked, it was 93 degrees, and that was an hour ago, and it's not even the hottest that it's going to get. So I'm like, is it going to be 100 degrees today in California? Um, I think a lot of you guys feel like you miss someone. This is going to be a very specific message. Some of you guys feel like you really miss someone. This someone does not want to come back into your life. I'm guessing that they were toxic and it was a toxic situation. Oh, hey. Hey, Eli. I'm getting it was a toxic situation, but you really do miss this person. I'm getting that you guys this person brought you a lot of joy, but it was almost like you were pouring into them all the time. Like you weren't getting anything back, or you would say, "Hey, I don't like when you do that." And then they would do it and be like, "Oh, my bad, I forgot." First of all, if I say don't do something, what you forgetting for? So yeah, you guys miss somebody, and that person, let's see if they miss you too. Why was this at the bottom of the deck? Three of swords at the bottom of the deck with the Queen of Cups. So you know that this person could possibly be with somebody else. And that's why that they don't miss you. They would rather be with someone that's easier than you. It seems like you were too much of a burden in their life. And I'm not saying that they're going to come back in this next month, because I don't know. I was telling you guys that this month there's going to be a lot of astronomical changes that are happening. There's going to be retrogrades, there's going to be planets going direct, there's going to be Saturn going into Capricorn. I don't even know if you guys know what that means. When Saturn goes into Capricorn, do you guys know any Capricorns in your life? These people were born at the end of December and the beginning of January. And if you know anybody that's born at that time, don't they always have their shit together? Don't they always be working? Aren't they usually like the bosses and people that have like very keen jokes? Like these type of people, their intelligence and their wittiness and their resilience and motivation to work, it's like and Saturn is also not playing around either. Like Saturn is also the planet of yeah, didn't I tell you to go pay that car ticket? Didn't I tell you to, make your bed this morning? It's about like delegation, it's about formity, it's about rules. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys feel right now you've been having urges to do things like, hey, I might need to go move my car, or I may need to go put some air in my tires, I might need to do this, do that right now. Because if you don't do that right now, once August hits, because I was telling you, this is like pretty much the last month before we enter this new dimension that we're going to be in. And if you guys don't get this together, it's going to be a setback for all of the blessings that were probably supposed to come in October. So start understanding like the cycle of life that we're working through. People like to compare us to animals. I don't really like to compare us to animals because we're more sentient, I feel, than they are. Like the fact that we can communicate with words, and we can almost kill like every animal. Um, I don't like we have the same structures, but I don't think that us as humans are the same as animals, because we just do things differently. I know everyone here has a pulse, has a soul, has a spirit, but I just think as people, I don't see animals using AI to make tigers eat cake and to cut glass, I don't know, vegetables. I think animals are a lot smarter than we are, and they have better survival instincts. So yeah, you guys could be missing somebody right now. And the message from this person that I'm getting is, you guys aren't going to like the message. They were only dating you because they were unemotionally available. They were only talking to you because they were unemotionally available. They did not know what they wanted, but they knew that they didn't want to be alone. They wanted someone to still be intimate with. They wanted someone that was still going to feed into their delusion. This person had a very strong mask on. Like this mask was so tight to their face, it was like latex. And they didn't want you to know that they didn't care about you to the extent that you cared about them, because they were benefiting so much from you coming around, asking them how they're doing, waiting on them hand and foot, making sure that they have everything that they needed. And so because you were coddling them so much, it was a safe space so they can actually feel comfortable to go back into their narcissism. I'm getting that this person that you're thinking about, and that's on your mind, this is not the first, second, or third time. This person, if you ask them, they probably never had a healthy relationship. And it's because every time they get close to somebody, there was one person that hurt them before. And It's because it seemed like this person was like a tyrant. Like the person, I'm sorry, you guys, I'm using so many he's and she's and they's, but the person that's on your mind dated somebody in the past that was a fucking tyrant, didn't care about their emotions, cheated on them probably over and over and over, didn't care about, like, talk to them bad, didn't care about none of that. And, ooh, I'm like, they don't want me to say it. And I'm like, please. So the person that they were dating was a tyrant, and then it broke your person's heart. And they never opened their heart up after that day. Like after that day, they have not opened up their heart at all. And then they came around you came around, and you guys were supposed to have some type of soul contract because the attraction was there. You guys were attracted to each other, you appreciated each other's presence, you had fun when you were around, but you collective, you felt like you were putting in more and you could be falling in love faster with this person. And you saw at one point where the emotions just kind of stop with them, and you thought to yourself, are they seeing somebody else? Like, are they just stressed at work? Do they not like me anymore? So it got you to start questioning yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that, but when you ask this person, or you tried to energy check them just to kind of see what was going on, those times where they kind of were very avoidant to you was because their ex or somebody that they were thinking about popped into their mind or came back into their life, or something happened. I don't know if it was a situation where maybe like they were in a grocery store and they saw each other, or and they saw that they were with somebody else, or they posted online saying that they were in another relationship. But once your ex or whoever you're thinking about at the time, I don't know if you guys were ex or what, once they found out that their ex was with somebody or entangled with someone or didn't care about them anymore, it changed the energy that you guys had together. And then they didn't want to tell you that they're still in love with their ex. They didn't want to tell you that they're more focused on work because they don't want to come home to you because you're also a burden. They didn't want to come home to tell you that you're stressing me out so much that I don't want to be with you anymore because you were doing so much for them. So this is why sometimes we can't be nice to people. And this is why people take our niceness for granted, and we need to have boundaries, because now you feel like you've given too much, and you feel like your tears have fallen on, a closed heart. It feels like you gave this person, it's like, doesn't, ow, my heart hurt when I did that. Ow. Um, it's almost like you guys gave this person, like they say in the Bible, don't give, a man your last dime. Some of you guys gave this person like the last emotions, all of the energy that you had, even when you didn't have anything, because you thought that this person was a true person. You thought that they liked you just as much as you liked them. You thought the attraction was just magnetic. And it's okay for things not to work out, because I was telling Happy Soul earlier, start going around people who are more optimistic. And a lot of people want to be wealthy, and they start hanging around people because they want wealth. Well, a lot of the time, wealthy people are not happy. And if you talk to a lot of rich people, I hang around a lot of wealthy people, and I will say that what makes them happy a lot of the time is what makes them happy. It's not usually happy. They like getting over on one another. Whoever is in like that hierarchy, that number one spot, that's usually what makes them happy. And then it's like, and they're working to get there too. There's usually like one person who has more money than everybody, probably because they have like old money. And then when you start hanging around these people, you start becoming superficial, and you start looking at yourself like, oh, well, I have this stuff and I have the car and I have this, but like, I'm going to be working forever. Yeah, you're going to be working for a long time if you don't know what makes you happy in life, because that's why wealthy people are always working. They don't have anything else to rely on. They burned all their bridges. They don't have any real friends. People use them for money. And you want to go hang out with these same type of people and expect that they're supposed to be love in this place. Crazy, crazy to me. But going back to that situation, you gave a lot to this person, and it's like it was almost like they came over and come kick these cups down. They were like, I don't care. Like, I know that you like me and I know that you like me. So I know that you're pretty much going to do everything for me. So I think that this bridge is indicating that it's time for you guys to go back to the basics. And I don't think any of you guys have taken any of my courses or like my ebooks. I've only had a couple clients that I know personally. And I always tell them, go back to the basics. What do you like? What do you not like? What it makes you happy? What doesn't make you happy? Once, and it's not even that. It's what are your needs? I'm gonna be real with you. This is what's in my budgeting and like all my little template books. What do you like and what do you not like? Once you figure those things out, what are your needs and what are your wants? And once you guys figure out those four components, you'll start understanding that everything that you do in life is going to be based off of those four like principles in life. Because if you're like, okay, the things that I was doing, the things I'm doing right now aren't making me happy, it's okay if it's not making you happy right now. But I mean, are you doing one of the other three things? Are you doing anything that you like? Do you know what you dislike? Are your needs being met? So I'm going to get on to the next thing. Would love that. I'd have to find some time for that. I feel like I've just been pretty chill right now, Eli, and just doing modeling and just keeping things really low. Like I said, this next month is going to be a really huge transition. So I'm trying, and I hope everyone else that's watching is going to get grounded and, you know, really take heed to what I say when I say that if there's certain things in your life, like cleaning your house, cleaning your room, getting rid of old clothes from your ex, keeping a routine in your life, there's something that's on your subconscious or even on your conscious brain that you're supposed to be doing. And once you guys do that, you're going to feel more grounded. You're going to feel like you have more space to breathe. You're going to feel like you're more optimistic to try new things. Okay. So I want to also get into the Knight of Wands. I see you guys with this energy. I'm thinking that a lot of you guys' relationships have ended this year. Whether it's a work relationship or a friendship or like a romantic endeavor or even like it's like work. Okay, so what did I say? I said work, love, friendships, and family. So family relationships could also be very big as well too. And I think that you guys are having more hope when it comes to just taking chances with yourself. The Knight of Wands lets me know that it's going to be a new feeling of opportunity, feeling very whimsical, feeling like you can actually take on, you know, certain endeavors in your life or take on certain like obstacles in your life, and you guys are in movement and in route and doing it. I also want to bring up that we have the colors yellow and green, so you could be feeling very optimistic when it comes to and passionate about things that make you happy, whether it is a craft that you're doing or a project that you're doing. You are getting forward movement to actually feel more optimistic about doing these things that make you happy. And I love that for y'all. It looks like also that some of you guys need to start spending time outside, because I have these mountains in the back, and because I stay in California, I know that there's not mountains here, so I'm probably reaching other people that don't live in California here. We have some mountains here. It's like I don't know where the mountains are actually. I lied. I'm not from California. I just live here. And I'm getting that some of you guys need to go outside. I'm getting some of you guys need to eat tomatoes. Um I know for a lot of you, you feel right now that you don't have the abundance to really go outside and, you know, take that trip that you want to. If you guys have friends, maybe go with a friend that's not going to be so stingy, you know what I'm saying? Or don't go with a friend that's going to be too goal setting on what you guys need to do. Go with someone that's like, hey, do you have $10, $20? Yeah, I have $10, $20. Okay, do you want to put it, which one of our cars has, like, you know, is more gas efficient? Let's put the money in your car, and can we go like on a hike, or can we go like towards the mountains or towards a body of water? Bodies of water are definitely going to help you with they're going to help you with releasing a lot. But bodies of water, like if you it's I don't know the word, it's just a colossal body. That's not what I want to use. um bodies of water are bigger than our existence. So we can't capture water. We can't change it. It's an element that's been here before we've been here. We have water in our body as well. So it's going to be super powerful for you to actually get around water, get around earth, start grounding yourself, because I'm telling you guys, when these exes come back, when these friendships come back, you guys are working on, like I said, certain passions that are going to bring certain type of lurking and energy and certain eyes on you. And when these people come in, it might be people that you know, it might be people that are returning. You guys have to start recognizing energy, and that's what I'm here for, to help you along the way. Oh yay. Okay, good. You've been deep cleaning. Okay, mountains are only 2 hours away. Where are they? Oh, Mount Shasta is here. Okay. I don't know if Yosemite is a mountain, but you get it. I also need to go outside. I just be going on my daily walks, but go take your shoes off when you go to the park. You know what I'm saying? Like, go to the beach, put your feet in the water. I'm getting that a lot of you guys stay inside. But like I said, eating tomatoes, you may have been feeling like your root chakra, and root chakra has to do a lot with stability, with your finances, with how you feel as a person. It's the ground root. Like, think of a tree. The tree's trunk, I don't know what's wrong with me today. The tree's trunk is going to be like the root system, like our root chakra, and the roots go into the ground. And you guys have to understand, when you're starting to work on yourself, I get that it's boring. I get that, you don't want to journal all the time. I don't even try to have people journal. When people work with me and my clients, they want to just have, like, one-on-one sessions or whatever it is. If they haven't journaled in a really long time, I'll have them journal. But for the most part, I don't have people start with journaling, because everybody learns at a different rate. I'm a visual learner and an auditorial, I don't know, sound. Um, so I learned that way. So I'm more like using sounds and using pictures. Some people can read and learn. Some people can write and learn. Some people, they need a demonstration. So it's really up to you and how you learn. And once I start understanding like your patterns and how you actually take in information, then we start building a route on how like some of these things will solidify. Because a lot of the times people will write things down and just forget about it. That's good too. But sometimes it's not always about the release. It's not always about an immediate release. It's about figuring out what the problem is. First of all, what are you feeling right now? Is it a problem? Indicating if it's a problem, going deeper into the problem, and then figuring out what it's connected to. So then we can start working there. I am not somebody that usually likes to take time and figure out, oh, what is your life like? What are you doing? I'm like, what's your routine throughout the day? How many fruits and vegetables do you eat? And don't lie to me. How much water do you drink? How sustainable are you with your water? Are you always drinking out of water bottles? Do you get reverse high? Okay, that's my reverse osmosis water right there in that little jug coconut. And I go get it every like 2 weeks. It's 5 gallons. I have 10 gallons of it. It's cheaper than buying water bottles. So really, how well are you taking care of your body for you to start thinking that the outside world is the problem? So an example of that is, you're like, oh, my life sucks. Like, this isn't happening. Nothing's happening for me. I'm not doing anything. How well do you treat your body? How clean is your house? Like, the people that you keep in your energy, how many negative words do they say around you? How much do they complain? Do they take care of their bodily hygiene? Do they wash their clothes every day? Do they make, what I'm saying? Do they make good efforts? Are they taking the time to actually learn about themselves and the people around them? And if that's a no, and you said no to any of those, you need to go back and start understanding that if you want a better life, you can't do the same things. You can't be around the same people. I don't even keep the same group of friends. And I know it probably sounds a little bit weird, but it's because as I'm going through this journey and I'm starting to understand what people actually need in life, the people who I'm hanging around are not able to give it to me. They don't take care of themselves. They don't speak life into me. People like hanging around me because I speak life into them. They feel good when they're around me. They feel safe when they're around me. They feel heard. They feel like pretty much like this is what life is supposed to be like. It's supposed to be easy. I should be able to joke around with people. I should be able to be happy. I should be able to be myself. I should be able to make mistakes without someone fucking judging me to the fucking ground. And excuse my language, but it's also as people, and we are going to be at this big age, who's going to be the adult? Who's going to be, in that leadership role? God blessed me to be in this leadership role, and the people who I am working with, they're also leaders. The people who I connect with are also leaders. So if you found this message and you found my page, congratulations. You're probably one of the leaders that are going to be woken up in this next dimension that we're going to be entering at the end of July. Okay, welcome in, Veronica. Yes, don't keep the same group of friends. Don't keep the same job if they're disrespecting you. You know what I'm saying? Like, the more you start to know yourself, and I think a lot of people feel very uncomfortable or intimidated by me sometimes because of how well I know myself. I can tell you what my favorite color is, what my favorite food is. I could tell you what my favorite food was 3 years ago. I could tell you the food that I'm stemming on right now. I can tell you how many tattoos I have. I can tell you how long those tattoos took. And then if you guys want to get more on a deeper level of how well I know myself, I know what my work ethic is like. I know how long I can work before I get tired. I know when I get around certain people, what type of energy they will bring before I even get there. Knowing what they do, how they choose their life, what they stand up for, I'm gonna say, their energy doesn't really stand out to me, so I'm probably not gonna go. Or be very intentional with yourself. If you are someone that has weight loss goals, how much are you fucking eating? I love you guys so much, but it's just like I was telling the girl in the chat before, I almost used to weigh 300 pounds. Like once I had a what is it? I'm like, damn, I can't even remember right now. I can't remember right now. I was married, and once I was divorced, super depressed, I got real fat and I got real skinny. I was real fat and I was just like, fuck, I'm like 300 pounds. None of my clothes are fucking fitting. I have to buy new clothes. I don't like how I look in the mirror. Like I had like a double chin and everything. And I was just like, you know what? You're only gonna accept it for so long. So my advice to you is, if there's something in your life right now that you don't like, or you don't like your weight, or you don't like how you look, you have a choice. You can sit there and do nothing about it, because let me tell you guys how energy works before I get into these next cards. If you are someone that is at home and you don't do anything, and you're like, I'm going to go home and go to work every day, and I'm going to work a little bit on this, and I'm going to work a little bit on this, I'm going to work a little bit on this, depending on how long you're working on that little thing for, you still have to go to work and you're still drained. There's 24 hours in a day, there for two, and then you have 6 hours left. So if you were to look at your dreams and your goals and your aspirations as, what is it called? Like a lever, I guess, or like if you were pulling it into you, like if it's at one end of the world, if your dreams and goals are in Indonesia right now, and you're saying, I want to be a millionaire, or I want to be able to lose weight, or I want to be able to, start my own YouTube channel, or I want to feel more confident, and your goal technically, and I'm just being metaphorical, okay? So your goal is in Indonesia, and all the things that you said are in a box or on a boat or wherever it's at in the middle of Indonesia, and you wrapped a rope around all of your goals. And then every day you sat at home and God gave you a rope to pull. He's like, okay, I'm going to give you this rope. She said, I'm gonna give you this rope, and if you pull on it, your dreams are gonna come closer to you. But it really depends on how strong you are and how resilient you are, and how oh, there's like flies coming to my door. And how resilient you are, and what's the word I'm looking? How repetitive you are. And so you grab the rope, and every day you come home, I'm like, okay, when I come home, I'm going to grab that rope and I'm going to pull it so hard when I come home. And you pull it and you pull it, and you're like, wow, this is kind of like you need like muscle for this. So instead of you going back to the drawing board and being like, I need more muscle for me to pull in these goals, you guys just go home every day and you just pull the rope with, the same strength that you have every day. You might get a little bit stronger, but there's other people out there that have the same goals as you. And guess what? That rope is also wrapped around the same goals in Indonesia. And God also put the rope at their house so they can pull on the goals as well. So depending on how strong you guys are, one of you guys is going to reach the goal faster than the other. And if you don't have the resilience and the willpower inside of you, you're going to give up. So think smarter. Don't work harder. Just because you think you're going to do something for a long time, it doesn't mean that you're going to make it. And I had to learn that. My sister, man, my sister's a teacher, and she tells her kids, my sister's a teacher, and she tells her kids, she's like, it doesn't matter how hard you work for it. You might not get it, and you might not be good. It doesn't matter if you want it or not, if you're not good at it. Like, and I was like, oh my God, don't tell them that. And she's like, no, they need to hear this because it's true. It doesn't matter sometimes how long or hard you work on something. You might not get chosen for it. You might not make it. Like, you might die. You might be like, oh, fuck, I finished this amazing project. I just have one more final touch on it. I just need to go to the store, go get, like, the last colors for like this painting. You could get into a car crash before you even finish the painting. And it's small stuff like that. So looking at it on a bigger scale, people want the same goals as you and they're working towards it. Work smarter, not harder. What you should have done instead of just coming home and pulling the rope every day, you need to start doing some calculations. How far is Indonesia for where I am? Let me get a scientist in the building to figure out how strong I need to pull this rope for me to actually bring it to my house so I don't have to travel for it. How strong do I need to be to pull it? Like, you guys need to start asking different questions instead of like, oh, well, if I pull it this long, eventually it'll come to me. It's great to have hope in life because it keeps you hopeful and it keeps you optimistic. But having hope is not realistic if you don't have any goals that are matching the hope that you're wishing for. Let me give it to you in a different equation. If you're not doing anything to make your life more favorable to you, it's not going to just magically happen on the back end. That's the equation of life. It has to be true on both sides. For math and equations, it has to be true. XY to XY has to be 2XY on the other side. Whether it's 2XY equals what is it? What would be the opposite equation? 2XY equals YX2. Both sides have to be the same for it to be true. So if you're coming home every day and you're not working on things in a smarter way, it could take you 50 years, or you could just get tired and give up, or it might not happen at all.